Hey guys, welcome to this very free-form video of me doing some cube boys, some cube heads inspired by Apocrypha. Now, my hobby friend Ben, he made a very cool supplement for Mörk Borg called Yellow Cube, or the Yellow Cube, I'm not too sure, but it's awesome. But I want to make a cubey Turnip28 army made out of these little Prussian dudes. So, bit of a local thing here in Berlin, the Prussians. So, we're gonna cut some models up, I think, today. And my plan is to have a finished turnip army by tomorrow. Let's see. So first of all, I'm gonna get these off the sprue. It's awesome because they are really, I think they're ready. You cut them off, clean them up a bit, get a cube on their head, paint them up, easy peasy. Let's see how easy it will be. All right, so I got them off the sprue and there are 24 Landwehr Prussians in there. So I think to get the most out of this box, we will have 1 unit of chaff, 2 units of chaff, 3 units of chaff, and 1 unit of fodder. So our basic 4 units. I think for the tops we're gonna use, there is a commandant in here. Where is he? There he is. That's the one. And the musician. So I think those will be 2 tops, and then we're just making a big old cube as a 3rd top or toady, or forgot the term. But yeah, I think with that we'll be ready. But first of all, I have to clean those mold lines up. And then I think the most time-intensive step will be forming the cubes out of milliput. I got some wooden cubes, but they are way too big. I bought them a couple hours ago, but they are way too big. So I'm gonna make my own. So everything is clean. Got rid of all those mold lines. And I gotta say, this set by Warlord Games for the Black Powder range, it's really awesome. Like, the sculpts are so cool. Some of them are bare feet, some of them have boots to represent that the Landwehr were people from the lower classes, so to say, that were made ready for war when needed. And those 2 dudes were in there too. So we got our toughs, the yellow cube. So I will build the cube with a bit of milliput and use those wooden cubes as the base. And no, those weren't the cubes I bought for the heads. I got those laying around. So cleaned those 2 dudes up, got rid of the heads, so they will get nice cubey heads. And yeah, let's cube those boys up. So now we're gonna do the cube heads themselves. So I rolled up some milliput, so I mixed it and then I rolled them up. So I first have little balls that are all the same size, and then I roughly square them up with my fingers. It's a bit finicky. I'm gonna take them and put it on top, squeeze it a bit, take a look around from the other sides. It doesn't have to be perfect. These are organic cubes. Yeah, and so we're for cubies. And so we do this 26 times, and then on to the next step. So the cubies are ready. They all got their lovely little cube on their head. I think now they're gonna cure a bit, and once it is hard, I will think about how to actually base them, and if I paint them before I base them, or if I base them and then paint. Because what I want to do is I want to dry brush them like in a black and gray way, and then make the heads yellow. So in the end it will almost look like they do now, I think. So, and I don't know if I can reach everything I want to reach once I got them on the bases, but first of all they can cure the little cubey heads, and then we'll see. In case you're wondering, this is the leader of the army, the big yellow cube. He transponds his orders to all these little cubies. I think I found a pretty good layout of bases. Yeah, so I can reach them all. I can glue them now, get some texture paint on the bases, so I don't have to do that afterwards. And I thought of using this little oven with the top, because this whole army is like a tribute to Ben from Apocrypha, and he has an awesome turnip army with a pizza oven. So I think this oven will be a great tribute to him. So we are now closer and closer to getting some foundation colors on them, priming them. But first of all, I'm going to use this lovely mud. Sometimes I use this earth texture, or for even smaller scale, sometimes I use corrosion texture from AK. This is one of my favorites, but I think for a quick job, we're just using the mud now. And then maybe get some texture paint on the cube. I don't want to texture those up, and in true turnip fashion we could like get some tufts on them, but I'm trying to think of a narrative for these guys, and I don't think like that these are humans. Like, I think these aren't corrupted humans by like the root, and they don't sprout, but more or less the cube just maybe baked them to get that over to the narrative, and then they just are some baked goods that grow or something. I don't know. So I don't want to do tufts, and I want to find a narrative reason to just be a bit lazy, but I think they look cool that way, like this clean uniform look. That's something you don't usually see in turnip, and maybe that's their thing, so let's do it that way. So all the boys are ready. They're proper muddy, so now it's time to prime them. So everything's blacked out, and the day is coming to a close. So this day was full of waiting for stuff to cure and for stuff to dry, and maybe I could like get some color onto these, but I like to wait a couple of hours at least, so that the primer really settles and really bonds to the models. Had some bad experiences in the past, but I think tomorrow we're gonna see, that's the sink, tomorrow we're gonna see some color on those, and I'm pretty optimistic that I'm gonna finish this little army tomorrow. So good night, see you tomorrow. It's a new day, the boys are ready, and I think now we're gonna dry brush. So all these are going to be, I think it's gonna be a gray, like a real neutral gray. just a light dry brush, and then when they look too sharp, yeah, maybe wash them, and then we're gonna paint all the cubes white, do them yellow, paint the mud, and then should be ready. Easy peasy, 10 minutes. Now I hope I can get ready today, someday. But let's see. We won't know until we start. I'm gonna use slightly warm grays just to get some life into those. And I like to use the Citadel pots because I can just grab it straight from the pot, go to my towel. I don't have a fancy dry brush palette because I don't think it's that necessary. You just have to make sure that you don't get all the paint out of your brush. And I'm using this old beat up makeup brush. So with this first layer, I'm just doing circle motions to get almost all the surface. Like we only want the black and the real crevices. And with the next layers, I think I'm gonna more way down to just get the details, but for now we more or less just want to get rid of that shiny black from the primer. With the lighter colors, just go from up to down to just catch the details. And then we can already see, like this gray, I think it already looks good. Just need one lighter coat, then we can go on to the yellow. So before painting the yellow, I'm gonna paint them in this off-white tone just to get the yellow as vibrant as possible. And I love to use the Wraith Bone base color because like this is 2 coats over black. Like, I think you can't beat that. Well, look at that. So everyone got 2 coats of white and then 2 coats of this Sol yellow, the sun yellow from Scale Color. So I think they look pretty nice. And now already did it with this guy, just the tiniest bit of orange wash. And then bump up the gray again a bit, and then do the mud. So I can almost see the finish line on those. I got the wash on there. Now I'm gonna do some little highlights. So last step before painting the ground and the mud, just gonna do the littlest white highlight just on the upper parts and just on the edges, and then you can already see how that pops. I love dry brushing. It's a bit on top, lightest of touch. I don't think the camera can pick that up because that yellow is so vibrant, but that's what we were going for. So it's drying time again. I think that is the theme of this whole let's make an army in a weekend idea. Because without the waiting time, I think I could have done it in like 1 day. But I'm pretty proud nonetheless. Like, they're almost finished. The wash on the mud is drying, as you can see. It's pretty wet. It's a great look too, but it's gotta dry. And all I did was base coated it dried bark, little dry brush with this XV88, and then my secret weapon, no, not just simple Agrax Earthshade, it's Agrax Earthshade 50/50 with Lamine medium. I think lots of people do that, but it just is a bit more subtle, brings it all together without darkening it down too much. All right, after, I think it's been like 28 hours maybe. It's almost 6 on Sunday. They're all done. And, oh, toes are, toes are turning their backs to us, but that's the real turnip vibe. Something funny. Yeah, and I quite enjoy these. I think the look is awesome, and I love the uniformity of the pose, the black and gray with the yellow. I think it worked out very, very well, and they just look awesome. A whole army in a day. And oh, it's heavy. This thingy is very heavy. Let me put it down. And I think the beauty of that is, I think I had it all laying around, like the bases, the colors, and I just spent like 30 bucks on a box of soldiers. And I was lucky that that general and that musician were in there. Built a cube and I got an army. So if you want to get into turnip and you got a weekend and some elbow grease, I think it's a great option. It's very stylized and you could do much more. Could bring in more colors, but I really wanted to try out something artsy with these. I think I succeeded. They are pretty artsy. So thanks to Ben from Apocrypha Now for those great ideas. All credit goes to him. I just built it. He had the brain power. And yeah, this was a very low effort video, partly to like battle my own perfectionism, that I can do some pretty simple stuff and still be happy with it. So thanks for watching if you made it to the end. And I think I'm gonna put in some glory shots. I think I'm gonna do a photo shooting tomorrow with these guys, and then we'll follow the cube, right?